Here's exactly where you can buy some cheap land for as little as 100 to 500 bucks literally today that you can go and buy. You can take this land, you can buy it, you can flip it for an extra few hundred to an extra few thousand to an extra few 10,000s, depending on what you want to do with it. This video, this live stream today is about showing you that this is absolutely possible. And this came to be, I was chatting with one of our YouTube subscribers here in our wonderful community. And she's like, Dustin, I bought a lot for 700 bucks and then I sold it to the neighbor the next day for 1,500 bucks. Made really good money, super quick. What it broke down to per hour is awesome. Now, what I love about what I'm going to show you is there a starting point for anybody, whether you have 50 bucks, whether you have 500 bucks, whether you have 500 to 5 million. What I love about this business is the fact that it doesn't matter your starting point with the power of what I'm going to show you, which is buying government seized property either through tax liens or tax deeds. Now, a couple key things to remember here as we start to look at this property, a couple key distinctions. So half of the states in the US are tax lien. You're not going to get a cheap property lickety split in a tax lien state. You can get properties in those states sometimes for as little as like 20 to 50 bucks. However, it's going to take some time. What we're going to look at today is a government seized property. So basically the way it works is half of the states are a deed state, which means in a deed state, a homeowner hasn't paid their taxes for say up to 3 to 5 years. Government says, hey man or gal, pay your taxes by this day, or we're going to auction your property off. Now, what happens a lot is some of these properties don't sell at auction and they go into the county inventory. In that inventory, it is now seized by the government. And then someone like you or me can go in and buy these properties. And back in the day when I started in this business, I bought property for 50 bucks and it was worth 5,000 bucks. So I blew my mind. And that's what this channel is here. This is what it's dedicated to teaching you guys how to do. This business totally changed my life back in the day, worked on the oil rigs, hating life. Bought my first property. It was like 40 acres for 4,200 bucks. From there, I found all sorts of property. But back then you had to travel. And with the lovely world of the internet, you guys can do this from the comfort of your home. Let's see. Best tennis players saying, how do I do this? We're tuning in live. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do this today. We're going to go on a treasure hunt here together. We're going to look at some of this cheap land. You can follow along at home. The last video I did the other day, it has like, I don't know, 10 or 20,000 views at this point. So what I can guarantee you is people who watch that video are already on their way to buying property. So you just kind of need to roll up your sleeves. Now, a little bit of a disclaimer on this sort of stuff. You will hear people in the deep, what do you call it, gallows of the internet saying, well, there's a reason it didn't sell at sale. It's probably garbage. My disclaimer to you today is this. There's going to be a ton of garbage property. However, even if like 2 to 3% of the properties are good, there's a chance for you to buy one of these properties for little as 100 bucks to 500 and more. And especially today in this world, you know, we got crypto, we got all these things, all these weird things going on the internet. They're not making any more of this real estate. As inflation goes up, this is an amazing business to get into. So what we're going to do is we're going to go today, and the way you would do this at home is literally search your state land bank or tax deed and find out. However, for the purpose of this demonstration, is it worth it to even buy a garbage property? No, as you'll see here in today's live stream, even if it's very cheap, if it's in the middle of nowhere, like in the desert, it's not going to be worth it. But we're going to look today at some cheap property. Thank you for the comment, best tennis player. Let's dive in. So I'm going to share my screen here. Once again, if you're new to the channel, I'm Dustin Hahn. This channel is dedicated to helping anybody who wants an unconventional way into real estate as a starting point. If you're sick and tired of prices going through the roof and you just want a unique way to get into it, this is one of the most slept on strategies in real estate. So I'm going to go to my screen. I'm going to show you these properties here now in a second. Before we do, if you like this stuff, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, ask me a question in the comments. Right now we're live. Some of you are watching this on the replay, which is also awesome. So let's dive in. So what we're going to do, and remember, I'm going to pick a place where there is cheap property so that you can buy this from home. You can do it from wherever. So if you're not in the state that I'm going to show you, it doesn't matter because you can do this stuff from home, because there's always people in the comments, well, I don't live there. The beauty of the internet is you can do this from the comfort of home. So I'm going to share my screen here now. And today we're going to go to Arkansas. Okay, sharing screen activated, infinite inception of multiple screens. So we're going to come over here. We'll start from the beginning. All you need to do, follow along, go to Google, Arkansas Commissioner of State Lands, search. Okay. So we're going to come over here. Today, we're going to go to Arkansas. Actually, one of my favorite deals I did was in Arkansas. I bought a funeral home and a limousine business for only $6,100. It was worth 75 grand. This thing paid me $1,000 per month in rent. I never thought I'd own a funeral home and a limousine business, but this is exactly how I did it. So, so we're going to come over here. This fine man here with a mustache game that is beyond and above my ability to ever grow a mustache. He is the Commissioner of State Land here. So what you're going to do is, this is the Commissioner of Land. So any property that's left over, you're going to remember there's 3,300 counties in the US. Every county is going to sort things out a little bit differently, right? But a lot of these counties, there's tens of thousands of these properties sitting there right now that you can go and buy. So today we're going to look at it. So what we want to do, we're going to come over here, just kind of get familiar with what's going on, right? You can pay taxes or claim excess proceeds. I'm not really a huge fan of that, but you can come over here and look at the public auction catalog. We can see what's going on over here in the public auction catalog. We can see all sorts of different property. However, this is not exactly where I want to go. So I'm going to come back. And what I want to do here is public auction catalog, post-auction sales. Okay. So come take a look at this site. And then, of course, as we go through this, internet's a bit slow. However, look at this. Okay. Online properties. What we want to look at is this starting bid. And what we want to do is come over here to list view. And here we have it. These are open sales going on properties right now that you can go ahead and you can actually bid on. I'm actually just going to make sure that my screen is sharing here. Yes, it is. Thank you guys for hopping on. We're having a party. Lots of people hopping on with us today. We are looking, if you're joining us, we're going to go find some property for 100 to 500 that you guys can go and buy. You can flip. You can do this stuff, which is super fun. So we're here right now. This is one of my favorite sites. I got lots of people who buy these properties and bid on these and flip them. And this is how I got my start too, buying cheap property, right? Like if you don't have a lot of money, this is a great business to get started with because it's actual land. So come over here and you can sort this stuff by starting bid. Okay. So you can see here, starting bid, $100. This one is bid up to, 3,000 right now. But I just like to take a look and see what's going on because when you're buying this cheap land, you need to think creatively. So you come over here, open it up in a new tab and just see what's going on. See, actually, this is a good example of earlier we had that question. Where did we go here? So remember where you said here, best tennis player said, is it worth it to buy a garbage property, even if it's very cheap? You asked that question. So my answer to that question is no. Here's an example of probably a garbage property. However, the current bid is $3,000. The opening bid was $100. I don't necessarily know what they're going to do with this thing because this is an example of, so what I can see, so there's so many different ways to do this business. The only potential value I can see in this thing is like you look around it, there's actually there's like green trees here. The rest are kind of brown. So I know people who've made millions of dollars in this business just by buying cheap land like this and extracting the timber from it and selling it. However, with this situation, you'd have to think about like, how am I going to get in there? How am I going to get the timber? If you're a forester, then maybe this is up your alley. However, I wouldn't bid on this if I didn't know what I was doing. I want something that's ideally in a residential area that kind of makes sense. So remember, this is like a treasure hunt for grown-ups who want to do property, right? Because think about all of the time that one spends, on Netflix and social media. If you look on your phone app and you think about, okay, how much time have I spent on social media, as we're all ashamed to do it? Why not come here, find some property? I guarantee if you put just a little bit of that effort into finding these properties, you can make yourself rich off of these things. So let's check out this thing. Current bid, opening bid $100. And I just like to go through these one by one and see what's going on, see where these properties are. This one current bid is $800, $890. But as you can see, it's a little closer to town. It's a little off the beaten path. However, we can see that it's near town. Currently, somebody thinks this thing is worth $890. So, you can zoom in and remember, you need to look at this stuff like with an open mind and an eye For the size of the lot, 0.5 acres, it's like always be asking, what can I do with this thing? So there's 48 bids on this. So clearly somebody is interested in it. And then, like I was saying before, one of our subscribers, she bought a piece of one of these lots for 700 bucks, sold to the neighbor like the next day for $1,500. So there is so much opportunity, and you guys just need to start digging in and looking around. Now, here is a pro tip, is to track this stuff in a spreadsheet. Okay. So you'd have something like the case number, the lien amount, the address, all that sort of stuff, so that you can have it here in one neat and tidy spot, so that you can be doing your research on this. But right now we're literally just like, this is what I did, except years ago, I'd have to get the list mailed to me. It was a real pain in the butt. I'm just making sure, holy smokes, we got some good questions coming in. I'm going to come back to questions here in a little bit, but right now we are on a property hunting exposition, or whatever you want to call it. Once again, guys, if you're tuning in, we're looking at properties. We're trying to find properties for as little as $100 to $500, so that you guys can get started in real estate. As an average person who's never done a deal, maybe you're tired of that 9 to 5 or whatever it is. This was my way out of my job, and it could be for you as well. So if you like this stuff, do me a favor, thumbs up, subscribe if you like the video. We did do a webinar just a couple days ago on how to use the power of AI for tax lien and deed investing. So below this video in the description is a link to that. So it is a replay of a webinar where I walk you guys through how to use AI to basically automate the whole process that I'm going through here right now today. But it is way more outside of the scope of this video. So that link is below in the description, where I walk you guys through that. And we're bringing down the replay tomorrow, as we have a limited number of run for these webinars. So I walk you through a game plan on how to use AI. So that is below in the description if you guys want to check that out. Lots of people have been loving it and using it. So back to the game, back to the business here. So we want to find a property for a couple $100. So something like this, 890 bucks, clearly with 48 people bidding on it, they definitely think is worth that. So when you come over here, you can click on this Data Scout Pro, and it's going to bring up more details on the property. Okay, so you're going to get more of the physical address here, the subdivision, where this thing is, the mailing address of the homeowner, the acreage size. We can see a little bit of the history of this property going back to 2015 and things like that. So we can see estate sale, $2,000, a guarantee, probably a guaranteed deed here, but that one is outside of our budget here today. So we're going to come back and we're just going to keep hunting. Man, lots of good questions coming in here. Yeah, smash that like button. Appreciate that. So let's go back. Let's keep hunting for this. Here we go, back to the page. And for those of you guys tuning in, we're in Arkansas. So this thing here, opening bid, $100. Okay. So what you do is you just keep coming through here, look on the map, see what's going on. Remember, we don't want something in the middle of nowhere. So there's no map data for this one. Okay, not a big deal. Depending on how motivated you are, you can dive in and start to see what's going on. So check this one out here. We have one, $100, current bid, $100. Let's take a look here. What I'm looking for with this stuff is properties that are in like residential areas, because that's going to be some really low-hanging fruit. So this one here, $110 minimum bid. And I'm just going to be going through these things. We're literally hunting for these properties. As we can see, a lot of these right now don't have map data. It's not the end of the world. You just keep going and keep trucking along here. Let's see, no map data again. Of course, whenever you go live on YouTube, there's going to be no map data for some of these. I'm clicking again and no map data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back here. I'm going to look, but take your time, go through all of these, right? I want to try to put something together here for our live show. So here we go. Let's check this out. Current bid, $105. Let's take a look. We're in town. We're looking good. We're in a residential area. I don't know if the property is good, but these are the types of things that are super fun. There's only 2 bids on this. The current bid is $105. Man, might have to sacrifice going out to eat for a day or two to get this property. So let's check this thing out. Current bid, $105. We are within town. We're kind of close to the highway here. But little things like this are what can make money. Now we want to take a look. However, okay, So as we zoom in, and here's the point that I want to make right now is we need to look at this stuff with a creative eye. If you want stuff that is just kind of black and white, super simple, what you need to do is you can go pay full price on Zillow all day long. A realtor will be super happy to take all of your money at full market value on properties. But what we do as tax lien and deed investors is we get creative. Some of these properties will be super simple. It'll be a house, it'll be in good shape, and away you go. However, a lot of these deals you have to get creative on. Okay. So check it out. So we're going to come over here. This is the property right now. I'm going to try to blow it up a little bit. Okay. So we're looking at the map, right? So now we put on our thinking cap and we think, okay, what is the situation on this property? As we can see, it's a bit of a unique piece of property here, but there's no road to it. There's no real access. The only thing we can really see is the fact that if you zoom in, there's this property right here. Okay. So the lady the other day, who's one of our subscribers, she bought a property like this for $700. She knocked on the neighbor's door and said, hey, you want to buy it for $1,500? They said, boom, because that $1,500 piece added to their property thousands and thousands of dollars in value. So this is the way you guys need to look at this stuff. And if you want to make money in real estate, it's such a fun, creative way. Now, we buy properties. Like I mentioned, there's a gal, she bought a property a little while back for 100 grand. It was worth over 300. She's going to make 100 grand. So no matter what your starting point is on this stuff, you can get into it. And today we're showing super cheap stuff for, to remove all the excuses for folks. So what I'd be doing is, let's see, you can also come over here to the map view as well and see what's going on with basically some of these parcels. Okay, so we can take a look. It doesn't really help me out too much, but I'm going to come back to the satellite view because I like this. So now I'm going to come over here to the Data Scout Pro, and I just want to get a few more details on the property. And remember, if I was going to bid on this stuff, I'd be putting all of this details into a nifty spreadsheet like this, tracking each property to be seeing what's going on. Oh, sweet. Pretty good turnout here. Lots of folks. Kurt, hello. Think Finance, Christina, Walker Trading. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome. Today, we're finding some super cheap properties. Once again, if you like this stuff, hit the thumbs up if you like it. And then from there, for those of you guys who are asking about the AI training, yes, it is still up until tomorrow. So for everybody here, if you want to use AI to speed this stuff up, nobody else is really teaching it. I go super in depth. There's a link below in the description. This replay is going to be up until tomorrow. Tons of great value. I walk you through 4 steps on how to use AI, starting with as little as $50 and then building like a multi-million-dollar real estate plan through Tax Liens Deeds, speeding it up with AI. So that link is below in the description. Coming back to our party here. So we want to see what's going on. We have a lot and a block, a legal description. So we want to go ahead and just try to get a little bit more details on this. So the land size is 50 by 20. It's not the largest piece of land, but really what I want you guys to take away from this is the thinking process of how we can make money on some of these super cheap properties. So what I would do is I would be coming down here and I'd try to see what's going on with some comps in the area. You can see some mobile homes, but what you can do is just go to like Zillow and search the cross street here. So for example, Carbon Street and Spears Street, search the cross street and then get a comp on the house to just get an idea of what things are going for in that area. But for everybody tuning in, I kind of just want to keep the treasure hunt going here. Maybe we'll do one more and then we'll do some questions. Lots of good comments coming in, lots of folks hopping on. Boom. Let's see. Is the Commissioner of State Lands available? And how many states? Lots of states, lots of counties have it. You just need to go and search your state, Commissioner of State Land. Today we're doing Arkansas. And the cool thing, guys, you can do this from home. You can do this from the comfort of home. Back in the day, we'd have to travel. It's a nightmare. It was a pain in the butt. Now you can do all this from your butt in the chair. Many South Park references hopped into my mind that are inappropriate for today's viewing. Okay, so we're going to come back here. Let's see. We're going to come back and we're going to keep trucking through this list. Okay. I'm not going to go too in depth, But, the other thing you can do, we looked at some of these. Look at how many of these properties, opening bid, $100, $100. We got pages and pages of properties opening for $100. Okay. So let's just look at one more. This thing has a current bid of 150. And once again, you're going to come back to the map and we're going to take a look, and that is not available. But here is a pro tip. Okay. Every county is like a puzzle that you need to sort out. Okay. What I can tell you is there's millions of dollars to be made on these properties sitting here right now. And there are pages and pages of these things. I can add 200 per page. Okay. So we're going to expand this out even more. All of these properties, guys, there's 200 properties on this page right now. Let me extend it to 500. Okay. So here we go. We have 500 properties. Opening bid is $100. Okay. So no matter how many naysayers are with us today, depending on how many views, dozens of you guys are going to flip these properties and make money. If you want to get into this on a starting point, if you're watching this, I got other videos on, getting houses for as little as $5,000 or $30,000 houses or mansions. Today is about cheap land for somebody who's like, you know what? I'm working. I don't have a lot of money. Let's do it. Let's party. So same thing, same process. You're going to come over here. You're going to take a look, see what's going on this property. There's one bid on it. And a lot of the data isn't on here, but if you really roll up your sleeves, you can go into the county, you can pull up the parcel number and start looking. So we've found some interesting stuff so far, but you know what I'm going to do? We're going to switch gears here. I'm going to sort this stuff now by bid just to see what's going on. And remember, we've only been doing this now for like 20 minutes, right? 20 minutes or so. We got lots of guys tuned in, which is awesome. And from here, just remember that this is a process. It's a learning curve. What I can tell you is getting these properties is nowhere near the amount of work that you've put into your career at this point. If you were to put in a fraction of that energy into this, you'd be an expert in it, buying these properties and flipping them. And I know most of you watching haven't done a deal. So it's time to do a deal. Just, $50, whoop-de-doo. You can get going. And like someone said, is it worth it to buy junk? No, don't buy junk. Buy something decent. Let's go by starting bid right now. Okay. So let's see what's on the higher end of things with, 4,000. Let's see. Starting bid, $100. Starting bid, 18,000. Let's just change some gears a bit and see what's available for 18 grand. Okay. Here we go. $18,000. We're zooming in. And this seems to be a corner lot. Let's see. Can't really tell what it is, but we'll take a little bit of a more in-depth look here on the data scout. But we can see currently the estimated value of this thing is about $75,000. Okay, so we could go 115 East Main Street in Browns, Arkansas. Let's see, Browns, Arkansas. Let's just take a look here. Let's see what's going on. East Main Street, Browns, Arkansas. Russell. Okay, maybe it's Russell. Let's take a look. Let's see. Now, so we would need to go and look a little further. I've closed this window, but to give you guys an example, opening bid, $18,000. Back to the treasure hunt. Not really. I'm so-so on what I'm seeing here. But this is the process of just going through it. Like we're literally doing it together. This is something before that we used to take a lot of energy in the past to do, but now it's pretty straightforward. Let's see what's shaking for around $10,000 here right now. Here we go. Decent little land. Let's take a look. Let's take a look here what's going on. So here we are. We're in town. This could be a good lot. Okay. So yeah, check it out. So starting bid $8,000 on this thing. And, it's looking like some pretty nice property in and around the area. So something like this could be really good. Maybe the neighbor wants to buy that. They could double the size of their lot. So there's many things that could be done here with this property. And this is why you put on your thinking cap as far as what can be done with these properties. Yeah, the county has it estimated at $2,700, but that's there's probably a reason why the starting bid is $8,000. So let's come back here, back to my screen. For anybody just tuning in, we're looking at super cheap super cheap property. And once again, for those of you guys asking, yes, the AI webinar replay is still up. Really trying to change the game by using AI. So all of this stuff that I just showed you guys, AI is now being able to do all of it for you, which is super cool. But I do like people to see the old school, the roots of where this stuff came from. And for anybody asking, we did a webinar last week. The replay is going to be up for just until tomorrow as it's coming down, but there's tons of free information to walk you through a 4-step game plan for starting for like $50 and building a multi-million-dollar business. Same way I started, except now back in the day, when I did it back in the day, we'd have to travel, I'd have to travel hours. These days, all of this stuff can be done remotely, which is awesome. Once again, guys, thanks for tuning in. If you like this stuff, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe, ask me questions in the comments. There's tons of great videos on the channel that walk you through exactly how to go ahead, how to do this stuff from start to finish. Basically, what I try to do on the channel is give you everything you need to get started. Everything you need to get started is on this channel. And some of the other videos, I don't have it posted here, but there's the ABCs of tax lien and deed investing. If you just watch some other videos, it is below. I forgot to post the link because I posted the AI link there in the thing. But tons of great comments. Let's see. Christina saying Commissioner State Land is available in how many states? Yeah, so we answered that a bit earlier. A lot of states have it. Let's see. It depends where the property is and the surroundings, if it would be a good flipper. Yeah, exactly, right? So like we're looking for those properties, in my opinion, that are in like the suburban areas or in town, little lots and things like that. And you have to have you have to have an eye for this sort of stuff, right? As far as developing it. I don't mean you have to be born with the eye for it, but you need to develop your eye and think creatively, always on the way in. Don't ever just buy something for the sake of buying stuff. I see people screw up all the time doing that. Let's see, what's the difference between my team and Tax Lien Association? Well, there's several people in the space who teach tax liens and deeds, right? I'm not the only one to do it. So you just have to follow who you like. I'm not here to trash talk people. I'm sure everybody has valid information, but it's the same thing. Why do I like Garth Brooks over Modern Country? Some people like Modern Country. Some people like Garth Brooks, I'll let the thunder roll. So anyways, guys, appreciate you hopping on. The link below for the AI is in the description. And these are going really well. So we're going to continue it, and tell me if you get properties. We got people commenting below these all the time if they're getting properties, which is totally awesome. Literally people watching the channel be like, boom, watch the video, bought 5 the next day. Awesome. That's why we're here. That's what we appreciate. So on that note, subscribe, like it if you like, ask a question in the comments. Really appreciate everybody hopping on. And let's see maybe tomorrow or the day after. All right. Signing off. See ya.